you think that would do some good for the Ottawa food scene?
The question is, will the marriage of Tim Hortons and Burger King be a boon to the Ottawa food scene?
Well, maybe if it could help Tim Hortons return to the old days where each store made their own donuts, that might be nice, not have them trucked in frozen from somewhere else.
Yeah, there you go.
If you look at the Bard Market right now, and we actually used the Bard Market 30 years ago, and the contemporary Bard Market as our comparison in 2 chapters about restaurants in the city, you'll notice that we've gone from large chain fast food to what we have now, which is locally owned, independent, chef-driven, if not chef-owned, chef-driven restaurants. And that change is something that I think that Ottawa wants to hang on to, and I hope that Ottawa will support.
Yeah, I think so. With the LRT, I think you'll be able to, and with bike paths towards the stations, you're going to be able to do a little more that way and stop the driving culture a little more, stop the fast food culture, and get the Clovers and get the locally sustainable businesses more out into these suburbs, which I would love to see. So they're not driving in the big box store areas. That'd be interesting.
We have another question over here.
I know you like to take pictures of your food before you eat it. Looking at the book, there's some gorgeous pictures in there. What is the most challenging food that you have to take a picture of?
Question is, what is the most challenging food to take a photo of?
Okay, well, first of all, we don't quite take a picture of everything we eat. Okay, sure. Okay, so I guess for me, it would be maybe half the time. For him, I might be closer to 99% of the time. Ice cream.
Ice cream is the worst. It's the most incredibly difficult to shoot. And the photographer, our portrait photographer, is actually sitting in the back of the room. He's nodding. Justin.
Hey, Justin.
The problem with ice cream is that it goes soft really, really fast, especially good ice cream.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. But I have to say something about food photography in Ottawa and in restaurants. We don't have an animosity between patron and kitchen. I've never seen a chef throw a patron up for taking photos of their food. The people in Ottawa who make our food are proud of what they make, and they want you to share it. I've never seen them. I've never seen them say bad things. Well, unless it's really, really dark. But they want you to enjoy yourself. They want you to have a good experience. But I've never seen them tell or ban anyone from taking photos in their restaurants. Just be discreet and care about people around you. Don't use a flash. But I've never seen a confrontation, and we've been doing this for 8 years.
Oh, that's amazing.
Excellent.
I guess one over.
I have a question. Yeah. I'm vegetarian and my kids are vegetarian. And every once in a while we will go to a new restaurant that's opened, and every once in a while we'll go to a not so new restaurant. And we're really struggling. Like, it seems like vegetarian food has gotten more difficult unless we go to a vegetarian restaurant. And I just wondered, am I going to the wrong places, or can you comment on that? Do you know anything about vegetarian?
Well, a lot of small locally owned restaurants, they are more than happy to create special vegetarian meals. Especially if you call them ahead of time and say, hey, do you have anything vegetarian on the menu? And if they only have one option, they always like to have people ask them, could you have something else there? If you give them a little bit of notice, at least a day or two, they're more than happy to do that. But we also have some great vegetarian restaurants in town. One of them is
Cafe My House.
Oh yeah, Cafe My House, which is actually just a few doors down from here. There's Zen Kitchen. It's an award-winning vegetarian vegan restaurant. I myself have been there many times, and I'm not vegetarian, but I really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually seeing something else. The gentleman previously asked about trends. We're actually starting to see one of the bigger trends worldwide is to focus on vegetables as much as meat, the vegetables as much as protein, and the restaurants that are going vegetarian only. But the thing is that I'm finding more and more in this city, there's a very good vegetarian option on the menu, and there are some restaurants that have a vegan regular menu that I hadn't heard of before. The Play Food and Wine has a vegetarian menu regularly. If you want vegan,
Most of these restaurants you've mentioned are not super family friendly, and in terms of a budget. Like, you know, if it's a late night and we're tired and we want to go out for dinner with the family, I don't want to go to the Zen Kitchen and spend, you know, $200, and I don't have time to call beforehand. It just seems to me that with all the focus on farmers and local food, that it should be easier to find vegetarian food than it is. Because I've been to all those places that you mentioned, but I just find, but that's just me. I just wondered if you had maybe some surprises that I didn't know about.
I find restaurants like the one you're sitting in, the cafe downstairs.
Yeah, well, this is my first time here. It's exciting.
The cafe downstairs is very vegetarian oriented. It's very vegetable oriented because they care about the farm products that they bring in, so they showcase them. And I find a lot of restaurants do that as well. Clover, which I've said 3 times now, because I think it's a very good restaurant. The chef there used to be a sous chef at Zen Kitchen, and she is taking very good care of making sure that the menu is balanced. So you have your meat options, and they're not very expensive either. You can eat very well for $20 or less. And we're seeing more and more restaurants that are doing that in order to accommodate everyone.
Excellent. And maybe one last question.
We talk a lot about Ottawa getting the food culture. Ottawa is also a nation of many immigrants, myself amongst them. What are you seeing in terms of any trends in ethnic food? And where's the best curry house?
Trends in ethnic food and best curry house.
For curry houses, we asked Trina, who's asking the question. That's one thing. But there was a tremendous rise in Lebanese restaurants. We actually have the highest concentration of Lebanese restaurants in the city because of immigration. We have a very large contingent of Vietnamese restaurants for the same reason. Project 4000 brought in a lot of immigrants and refugees.
Afghani.
Now we're seeing Afghani restaurants that are popping up.
And then Das Local and there's the
that's German
ones. I think we're doing very. We need a Dutch restaurant for me. And one last question.
I'm not going to make this a question. I'm going to make this a statement. I think that what Don and Jet have done is a dream for most writers. And to actually have a published book at your book launch like this is a moment to be cherished and be very proud of, because there's a lot of writers out there that are very good who never get this far. And the fact that you're on your first, I think it's a wonderful thing.
Absolutely great, and that's a great way to end it, basically. Yeah. So, will you be signing? Books are $22 here. Taxes are included.
Yeah. Where else can people find your books?
You can find them at Chapters. Actually, just about every Chapters in Ottawa is carrying it. You can find it online also, and also on Amazon.
Wonderful.
And La Bottega de Castro.
Oh yes, La Bottega de Castro, and of course, Octopus Books. Can't forget them.
Right on.
Wonderful. So thank you so much. And this is Lunch Out Loud Ottawa. This is kind of the format that we do most of our shows on. We usually have a musical guest, so we've had 92 musical guests on our
all different
from every single genre. So we can introduce you to all types of cool music, and we have great, interesting guests. And we're going to have the Parkdale Food Market on very soon. When do we get to talk to you?
Whenever you want.
Okay, maybe next week.
That was Karen Secord. She's also in the book.
Karen Secord is in the book, and she will be one of our next guests.
And also note that Dawn and Jen do have a pretty regular segment on our show almost every week.
I try.
Yeah,
I failed last week.
Yeah, that's okay. You missed one. But almost every week they do feature what's happening in the food world in Ottawa for the weekend coming up. So it's great to listen to that too. So.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for listening and coming. Have a great night.